Good evening and welcome to the Money Show, the show that puts your money matters front and center in a world full of financial noise. We are here to bring you clarity, confidence, control over your personal finances, whether you are planning for retirement, building a portfolio, navigating debt, or just trying to make smarter money decisions. This is your space, your guide, and your weekly check-in with your wallet. Every evening, we bring you insights from top financial experts, decode the latest and answer your burning questions on saving, investing, spending, and everything in between. Because you're on the Money Show, we believe one thing: you don't have to be a finance expert to take charge of your money. You just need the right advice. I'm Kavita Thaplial. And let's begin the show and let's get connected with our guest today because we are doing a special on women's financial planning. That's right, it's Women's Wednesday on the Money Show today, and we'll be focusing on women's specific queries and their financial planning. So just in case you are someone who has not yet started your financial planning or you want any expert advice, this is your place and your show where you can get connected with our experts. And today we have Harsh Roongta with us on this very special occasion. Hi Harsh, evening and welcome to the Money Show. We have a lot of women-specific queries which keep trickling in, and today is the day when we'll be focusing just on women investors and helping them navigate their life as far as their investments are concerned. So let's begin, Harsh. I'll be taking Harshita's question first. She says that she's from Bhopal and wants to review her portfolio. She's 38 years old and the target is 1 CR in 15 years. She's got Parag Parikh Flexi Cap 10,000 investment SIP going on. Motilal Oswal Mid Cap again 10,000. 20,000 is the overall amount that she's investing. So good funds and sufficient time. But what about the investment amount?
Kavita, the good part about this query is that she's looking to accumulate 1 crore in about 15 years. And if we were to assume a 12% return on the 20,000 investment that she's making per month, she would be very comfortably able to achieve the target that she set out for. So she at 12%, the accumulation works out to be approximately 1 crore, and that is what she's expecting to accumulate. With regards to her scheme, both her schemes are very nice. So she has one Parag Parikh Flexi Cap and a Motilal Oswal Mid Cap Fund. Well, both the schemes are good in their own categories. And the allocation that she's made, the entire amount goes into large and mid caps. So while your primary allocations could be within large and mid caps, but just one suggestion, in future when she intends to increase her SIP, she could consider a multi-cap fund as well. So a new scheme that can be added into her portfolio if she wants to increase her SIP, that would be a multi-cap fund. Through a multi-cap fund, she will have a small allocation to even a small cap category investment. So I guess to have majority of the investments in large and mid cap with a small allocation to a small cap category would be an ideal combination.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's the advice coming in for Harshita. Harsh, quickly, let's take Sushrita Gupta's question, and she says that she's invested in mutual funds since 2021. Portfolio, she's got a couple of funds, but SIP of 6,500, 3,500 in Mirror Asset Large and Mid Cap, and 1,500 Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, and 1,500 again in Motilal Oswal Mid Cap Fund. And she wants to stay invested for 15 to 20 years, and she also wants to know that if there is any need to increase her SIP amount. Well, that's a brilliant thought, and more the merrier, Sushrita. But definitely, let's get a checkup on your funds. And Harsh, looks like women investors slightly have a better taste and much well-informed taste as far as their fund choices are concerned. What would you say?
Yeah, so in fact, in her case as well, we see that she's got just limited three number of schemes. She's
Right.
allocated her money again between large and mid caps.
Mm-hmm.
So just an observation that through the Parag Parikh Flexi Cap and again Motilal Oswal Mid Cap Fund, she has an exposure to large and mid cap category already. Then to additionally have a Mirai large and mid cap, is not kind of really required.
Okay.
So what I'd recommend for her that instead you switch this the large and mid cap fund to another style of investing. It could be a value investing, it could be a multi-cap fund, it could be a factor-based fund, index fund, or it could just be a pure index fund. The idea is that to exposure to large and mid cap is already coming through the two schemes that you have. Then you do not need a third scheme which does the same thing, which is invest into large and mid cap. So in case she wishes to just keep her investments into large and mid cap, then in that case, she should still stop the investments in Mirai large and mid cap fund and increase the investment in Parag Parikh Flexi Cap and Motilal mid cap fund.
Okay, okay. Since we are talking about, when we talk about outlook, market outlook these days, because that's the current theme going on, Harsh, and, we are talking to experts, trying to understand the kind of recap this entire year had as far as market is concerned and the next year's outlook. So everyone has a huge bias towards large caps. But for someone like Sushrita, where she has ample of time, can she go heavy in mid cap, small cap? Definitely large caps in your portfolio. We've discussed this ample of times where for stability, you need large cap. But then considering the time frame that she has, can she go heavy in mid cap, small cap, maybe later on, or no?
So, Kavita, the allocation to large, mid, or small cap primarily depends upon your own risk-taking capacity. So, our
Right.
large cap will be slightly less volatile when you compare to mid cap. Mid cap will be less volatile than a small cap. So, the idea is that as per market valuations or trends, you do not change your allocation. You create an allocation based on your risk profile and how you would like to construct your portfolio. So
Right.
my recommendation is that large caps become the core portfolio portion, so that you could have, say, probably 30 to 50%.
Mm-hmm.
The balance amount could be in mid cap and small caps, depending upon each individual's profile. So try not to tinker around with your allocation based on market valuations, based on the trends that are happening, so
Mm-hmm.
that over a long period of time you can accumulate the kind of corpus with a relatively, appropriate risk that you can tolerate.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Let's take Rita Moria's question. And she again has a target of 2 CR, 15 years is the time frame. But then she's 47 years old. SIP amount is 25,000. She's a government teacher. She's got SBI small cap going on, 5,000 rupees SIP, Invesco India small cap 3,000, Motilal Oswal mid cap, Edelweiss mid cap 4,000, and Edelweiss mid cap 4,000, HDFC flexi cap 5,000, ICICI Pro multi asset 3,000, Kotak multi cap 2,000. She wants to know if the fund mix is right for her or not. I don't think she's left out any category. She's tried to be as diversified as possible, which is a good thing. Yeah, 15 years time and 2 CR.
So, well, Kavita, there is a scope for consolidation in our portfolio
Hmm.
because there is a lot of overlap. For a 25,000
Yeah,
rupees,
right. That,
you would see there are two small caps, there are two mid caps. Those are not required. So let
okay.
me just rearrange her portfolio. The entire 25,000 can go into only five schemes, which will have 5,000 per scheme.
Hmm.
So I'm picking five schemes out of her existing seven schemes. So she doesn't have to make much changes. Just she would need to increase or decrease the SIP amount per scheme.
Okay.
So she invests 5,000 in each of the following schemes: HDFC Flexi Cap, Kotak Multi Cap, Motilal Oswal Mid Cap, SBI Small Cap, and ICICI Pru Multi Asset Fund. The
Okay.
other two schemes that she's not going to continue with, I recommend that she removes and redeems everything out of it and reinvest that balance, that money, into the existing schemes that she's going to continue with.
Okay.
With regards to her corpus, again, if you assume a 12% return, over 15 years, the investment will generate about 1.65 crores. In case
Okay.
she wants 2 crores, then she'll have to increase her SIP to up to a total of 32,000 rupees per month.
Hmm. All right. So that's a solution. And well, I'm assuming this is going to be her retirement corpus, but assuming that she is a government teacher, she'll be taken care of as far as a pension is concerned. But yeah, a word of advice or caution that you might want to give her, if at all this is the retirement corpus that she's looking at, Harsh?
Yeah, so Kavita, the retirement planning is very important event because you don't have an alternative. If you go
Right.
wrong with your calculations or if you fall short of your requirements, then
Mm-hmm.
becomes a perpetual issue to deal with cash flows post-retirement.
Right.
So if you're incorporating a corpus or you're calculating a corpus that you require at retirement, just ensure that you're taking inflation into account, that ensure that you're taking the cost of living the standard of living that you may increase over the next 10, 15 years before you retire, and try and have some surplus over and above what you estimate that you would need
Right.
because you don't know what surprises come in post-retirement as well. So you should have enough buffer for yourself.
Hmm. All right. Let's move on and let's take take Pragati Singh's question. She's from Raebareli and she's doing BA, and she wants to start doing an SIP, okay? And she wants to know how to do an SIP and what fund she should be considering. So Pragati, first of all, congratulations, all the best. You're doing BA, and what a fantastic time to think of investments, and that too through SIP. I'm sure you're someone, who really reads a lot, or at least is trying to understand, and get her grip on the market and investment side of your life. So congratulations and welcome, Pragati. And yeah, Harsh, the first step towards selecting the right kind of fund, the process of SIP, very basic questions, but very important, especially considering that is the first step that she's taking. So, yeah.
So, well, Kavita, whenever anybody tries to enter into this investment world, it's very important that your first experience is positive. Positive, I
Sure.
don't mean by returns. I
Mm-hmm.
mean that it should be a pleasant experience in that context that you understand what is happening.
Right.
Imagine you just come into the investment world and suddenly you feel that something has gone wrong because you were not aware, you were either cheated or you've not understood what you were doing. That kind of a scar remains for the rest of your life, and you will never feel confident about investing.
Hmm.
So for Pragati, my suggestion is that she intends to invest. So there are three factors that you need to be very clearly aware of,
Hmm.
because the kind of scheme that you will invest into will depend on these factors. So
Hmm.
one is, of course, what is going to be your time horizon? How long do you want to invest for? What
Hmm.
is your risk appetite? Because what scheme may suit you based on your risk profile may not suit your friend who's similar age, because each person has their own risk-taking capacity. The
Right.
third would be goals. What are you trying to save for? Is it going to be for your higher education? Is it going to be for some business that you want to do? Is it for marriage, or is it's for house purchase, or is it for retirement? So there could be different goals that you're saving for.
Hmm.
Keeping all these parameters in mind, there are the different kind of schemes have been, will be suggested. If you're investing for short term, for example, you'll have debt funds. If you're investing for medium term, it will be hybrid, which has an equity debt mix. If you're investing for long term, it will be equity funds. So
Hmm.
there are different funds. So all those things you need to be sorted out before you begin your journey.
Hmm.
Additionally, I will suggest to her that irrespective of the amount that she wants to invest, it could be a small amount that she wants to invest.
Right.
Consult an advisor who can guide you into this entire process, and you enjoy the journey. Your first experience should be very positive and nice, so
Hmm.
that you get confidence and you can enjoy this entire journey rather than just not be happy about what happened with you.
Hmm. All right, with that, it's time up on the show. Thank you so much, Harsh, for taking your time out and helping our women viewers and women investors navigate their financial life and investment strategies for themselves. Thank you so much. But with that, I leave you on a short break, but then post that, we'll be talking about a very special initiative.